The next mistake is befriending your venture capitalists. The way this works is you get funded by a VC, and the day that they say yes or the day the check clears, you say, wow, I heard VCs are assholes, but not this one. This one really understands what we're doing. This one really likes us. This one said that he's never seen a team as good as ours. And this one said that he's going to stick with us. And this one said that he has such confidence in our ability, having hired all these Visual Basic programmers, that basically he's going to leave us alone. We're not one of his problem portfolio companies. We're one of the most promising ones. And you know what? He also said that they don't invest in technologies. They don't invest in markets. They invest in people. They invest in people, and they invested in us. So no matter how much we screw up, because they invested in people, they're going to like us, and they're going to give us more chances to get it right because they invested in us. Not the prototype we showed, not the market forecast we showed, none of that. It's people. They're our best friends. They said that they'll always be available. Call them anytime. Pick up the phone. They'll even come in and roll up their sleeves and work with us because they're investing in people. They're my friends. I think I'll take up golf and start playing golf with them, Let me tell you something. Nice shirt up there. I like that shirt. Yeah. VCs and investors are not your friends. I'm not saying you should hate them, okay? But I am saying that it is a business. They are in the business of making money. They're not in the business of making friends. Angel investors, maybe, but venture capitalists are not in the business of making friends. They would rather hate you as a CEO, but see you go public and make them rich. Okay? Don't believe that they're your friends. Don't try to become their friend. Just make your forecasts. Okay? That's all that they really care about. And I've seen time and time again where the CEO really believes. So here's like what happens. So you raise money, you miss your first ship date. The board knows you're going to miss your first ship date because everybody does that. Everybody does that. But they invested in you, so they still support you. You miss your second date, and now they say, well, you really have to be careful. We're going to give you another $5 million, but now, we're really going to hold you accountable. Then you have one more meeting, and to your utter surprise, they're saying, we want you to step aside. And you say, but last month you said you're going to stick with us because you still believe in us. What happened in the last 30 days? And the VC will say, well, every Monday I was going to our partner meeting, and every Monday I was telling them, well, they slipped, but they look really promising. They have rock stars, they 1% of all these dogs eating food, how hard could that be? So I kept telling this story Monday after Monday after Monday, and then finally we had this partner offsite, and I just got tired of defending you guys. And I just, it's not worth my bandwidth because my time and my mental faculties are so important. So we're going to take you as a loser company in our portfolio, and we're going to take this other loser company in our portfolio, and we're going to sell your assets to the other loser company, and we're going to declare victory that you were acquired. So everybody's happy, except you have to step aside. You are now gone. And then the CEO goes home in a state of shock, and he says, frickin' VC, last month they loved me, this month they don't love me, they're throwing me out. I don't understand what happened. We own 51%, we're going to take it to a vote. Yeah, right. So, okay, again, I don't want you to think I'm full of anger, okay, but don't try to befriend your VC. The key to managing a VC or any investor is to just meet your projections, okay? Meet your projections. My advice to you is that you set projections that you are 80% confident you'll make. 80%. That's the minimum confidence you should have. 80%. God bless you if you do 100%. You will make history because you're the first person who met your forecast. If you do 120%, you're a god or a goddess, not to be sexist. So you need to under-promise and over-deliver. Under-promise and over-deliver, okay? Now, you might ask, well, what happens if our realistic projection doesn't make the company interesting enough to get funded? Like, what's the bottom end? And that is a real problem. And I will tell you that, venture capital is not for everybody. That venture capital is playing a game. Every venture capitalist wants to fund the next Google, right? So lots of companies are just thrown out of that there's no way that a new chain of restaurants is likely to be the next Google. It could be the next McDonald's, don't get me wrong, but the likelihood is very low. It's unlikely that a consulting practice is the next Google or that a web design company is the next Google. There's some things that are just not applicable for venture capital. There's only several thousand deals happen for venture capital per year of the millions of companies that start. So don't set yourself up for failure. They're looking for the next Google. They will settle for a $100 million exit, but they want the next Google. That's the game you've decided to play. Okay? So don't befriend your VC. And then the last one is, don't assume that VCs truly can add value. At any given moment, a VC is on 5 to 10 boards of directors. They are also looking at companies every day. They are very, very busy people. They're a touch ADHD. They're certainly egocentric. It's very difficult for most VCs to separate causation and correlation, right? That, they invested in a certain company and it did so well that it must have been them who made that company succeed. Be interesting to ask the CEO what his or her version of that success story is. So, a VC can pick up the phone and introduce you, can send an email to introduce you, can help you recruit. But you shouldn't think that they're going to do a lot of heavy lifting. Fundamentally, what you want from a VC is money, and you want 2 or 3 hours a month of their bandwidth. That's about it. You should be happy with that. If you get that, you're doing well. And the irony is that the more successful you are, the more bandwidth you'll get, which is kind of unfortunate because the less successful, the more you might have needed the help. But what happens with these things is the venture capital game is a game of hindsight. So what you do is you invest in 20 companies. 1 or 2 become successful. Maybe it's a mega success, but let's just say it's a moderate success. And so you have invested in 20 companies. Let's say 1 is successful. So people ask you about the 1 company and you say, I knew that was a good team. I knew there was rock stars. I know they were in a great market. Millions of dogs, more dogs coming out every day. I knew this was a good business model, that we were going to disintermediate this very inefficient way of getting dead cows into cans to dogs, right? Why was there a pet food store in the middle? So stupid, the pet food store is grabbing 25% margin. What value did that pet food store add? You had to get in your car, drive to the pet food store, find a parking space, go into the pet food store, and then what? It's dead cows in cans. Did you do any point of purchase analysis? Did you do any taste tests? No, they added no value. So it was so obvious that, of course, there had to be a better way to buy dead cows in cans. So I knew that. I knew the team was rock stars. I knew that great business model. I knew there was a great market. So I invested in that company. Then asked the VC, so what about the web van that you invested and put $400 million in so people could buy broccoli online? Why did you invest in web van? Why did you invest in web van? And the VC will tell you, My partners did that deal. I told them that was a stupid idea. Not nearly the potential of selling dead cows in cans to the 75 million Americans who own dogs. It's a very retroactive business. I'm not saying that all VCs are like this, but I'm telling you, have realistic expectations of venture capital. It's a mistake that many, many entrepreneurs make.